Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's comic book review extravaganza. 15 comics. We just finished Marvel. We are now delving into DC Comics. Starting off with Legion of Superheroes number 2, Saturn Queen takes over the mind of Ultra Boy, and Earthman, of course, accepts the Legion's proposal while still having the Green Lantern ring. And Earthman is now a Legionnaire. And he's sent on his first mission to stop the people who are revolting against the Offworlders. And Sun Boys there too. It just gets better and better for Earthman, doesn't it? But anyway, on a side story, Ultraman gets taken over by Saturn Queen, and he just goes beating the shit out of every Legionnaire that's in his way. Actually, at some point, at the end of the issue, he breaks into Legionnaire headquarters and just starts bashing the place up until he sees Phantom Girl, and then he collapses. And that's the end of that part. Also, Garth, also known as Lightning Lad, finds out about his children being teleported away and Saturn Girl going after them. And he says, "You know what? Screw it. I'm not continuing my quest to find my brother's twin. I'm going to help my wife and my children." And he flies off and he goes after Saturn Girl, or back to Legion headquarters, I guess. Issue concludes with Earthman asking the ring, wishing he knew how to turn the ring's power on. And the ring's like, "As you will." And then the power battery shows up and it says, "Repeat after me, in Brightest Day, to be continued." Earthman, Green Lantern, next issue. This series is pretty much holding me very good. Without Superboy, still holding me very well. Like I said, check out Avenger Comics also for Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. This is the Legion at an older age. They're older now. They're not exactly little kids anymore. They're actual, I'm guessing, adults, even though they're still called boy and everything. Check it out. Really good. Paul Levitz outdid himself in this series, I'll tell you what. Paul Levitz has been writing a lot of things in DC lately. Controversial one here. Batman, The Return of Bruce Wayne, number 3. Batman as a pirate. You know, a lot of people don't like Grant Morrison, and I'll grant you guys that. I really don't like Grant Morrison either. I don't buy any of the Batman titles anymore. Lord knows if I'm going to buy the next Batman title. I keep thinking about it and I'm like, I'm waiting for Dick Grayson to move down and Bruce Wayne to come back, which he is, but it's going to take about another year. Okay, getting into this comic in particular, no Superman, Booster Gold, Green Lantern cameo at all. All about only Bruce Wayne. Except they do jump into the future for a second where the JLA is talking to Red Robin and they're saying, we have to stop Bruce Wayne and prevent him from coming back. We have to stop Batman. So everybody's now off to stop Batman because he's some big doomsday device. So everybody wants to stop Batman. Everyone now in the present. Which kind of seems fucked up. I mean, Batman saved all their asses at least 1,000,000 times and now everybody wants to stop him. But then again, he is a doomsday machine, so... Poor Bruce. Poor Bruce. But he's a pirate in this issue. And it connects sort of to the first issue. Because he's a pirate. And the pirates are looking for treasure in a cave. Which happens to be the cave that Batman emerged from in the very first issue. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the first issue where Batman was back in caveman times. And the Man of Bats thing comes out again. The people of the cave are of the Man of the Bats. And basically all the pirates die. Except for the captain and his first mate, whom say Gotham is a fucked up place, and they run away scared. And basically, Bruce is the only one that's allowed to go in a certain part of the cave, which has the cowl. Yeah, I'll show you guys. What am I talking? Why am I talking like I don't have the comic right in front of me? Which has the yeah, he walks into the cave and it has the cowl and the belt hanging up from way back when. And actually, in the present, they also see it here. I'll show you guys. Let's go jump into present day for a second. Present day. Man of the Bats. Yeah, Man of the Bats. But we're looking for present day stuff. Hold on. Sorry, guys. You gotta excuse the whole flipping around thing here, where Red Robin is showing them pictures from from the cave in modern day, where the cowl is still there. So Batman takes a few things out of his utility belt, and basically disappears. He knows he's going. Once the sun sets, he knows he's leaving. The eclipse ends. Batman disappears into the Wild West, where John Hex is going to make a guest appearance in the next issue. Gee, I wonder if this has anything to do with the movie that's coming out. No offense, I don't know who John Hex is, and I really could care less, to be honest with you guys. Kill me. I know I said I'm a DC Comic diehard, but there are certain people I really could care less about, and John Hex is for sure number one on that list. Well, not number one, but on that list. So next issue is going to be in the Wild West, all about the Lone Bat Ranger. I made that up. Don't think that's that's the theme of the issue, although it might be. We're up to number 3. 3 more to go. I can't wait for the series to be over. I really can't wait for the series to be over. It's okay. This was one of my favorites out of the 3, but that's not saying much. That's like picking your favorite piece of crap. No offense. I mean, they Trapped in Time. Steve Rogers did it. Superman did it. Now Batman's doing it. You want to throw somebody in time? Throw the heads in through time. Let them go through some time warp bullshit. At least Bruce Wayne's coming back, so there is a positive thing coming out of all this in the end. In the end. I'm talking after Vanishing Point, not after Bruce Wayne returns. Or the return of Bruce Wayne, however you want to call it. Moving on, Brightest Day tie-in, Green Lantern Corps number 49. The Alpha Lanterns are revolting against the Green Lanterns. This is a freaking awesome cover, by the way, guys. And everybody's wondering why. Big spoiler. Maybe not. I'm waiting for Mike to finish. What can turn a cyborg into a killing... what can make these... well, first, before we do that, let's talk about some cameos first, then we'll get into the end. Kyle Rayner is still having dreams about Jade, while still being with Sora. As you can see, bad dreams. While she's in bed with him. And now they're going after the Alpha Lanterns, and Jean's... Oh, by the way, a little Brightest Day number number 3 reference. For those of you who read Brightest Day 3, where Deadman had the net is still around. It's in space. The Anti-Monitor's gone. Here's the net from Brightest Day. That's a tie-in. That ties it all into Brightest Day. Just because the net's there and they have a picture of Deadman, it's tied into Brightest Day just because of that alone. Anyway, moving along. Kyle Rayner, Ganther, and Sora are looking for John, who is knocked out by Boudica. I try to pronounce her name well. It's Boudica. And who is controlling all the Alpha Lanterns? None other, the final page, than the Cyborg Superman. I'm so freaking happy Cyborg Superman's back. He's one of my favorite villains. I'm sorry. And John Stewart is... Well, from the picture, you can see John Stewart is the next on the list. But notice, they didn't rip his chest open yet, so maybe he won't exactly make it to Alpha Lantern status because Kyle, Sora, and Ganther are going to save him. Awesome series. I used to say this was a little bit slower than Green Lantern. It's picking up. Cyborg Superman. Enough said. Enough said right there. And speaking of news, by the way, I missed this in the very first part. Pardon me for a second. For those of you who are interested, Wonder Woman actually has changed. They are changing her uniform. For more information, check out cbr.com. If you are a friend of mine on Facebook, I'm probably going to get a picture of that and post that up in my comic album. But it's a pretty nice new uniform. I mean, it's not classic for those of you who like classic, but it's a nice uniform. So, with that being said, we're going to have to go into the next part anyway, because from what I'm seeing, I know I'm at 7 minutes, but how many minutes are we up to?
9 minutes.
Oh, we're up to 9 minutes, really?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a really boss costume. I will actually try to get a printout picture of it and post it in next week's review. That's kind of why I didn't even want to mention it as far as news, but I mentioned it. Sue me. But don't sue me. I'll have it next week for you guys. So stick around. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more comics to go. Really good ones. Maybe -1, depending on your preference. Stick around. Catch you guys in the next part.